back to What the Fuck Friday. Alright, who's ready to be what the fucked by this crazy movie that Paul picked?
Where's the monkey?
Where is the monkey?
Guy got the monkey.
Okay, he's got the continuity monkey, because definitely need the continuity monkey for this piece of crap. But go ahead, tell a little bit.
Spanking my monkey right now.
Well, it's better than choking your chicken like you did last night.
So, I found a movie in the $1 thrift store bin called Black Cougar.
I think you paid too much for it.
Yeah,
Was it $1 bin?
$1 bin, and I could not resist it. I never heard of it, and it is a home-produced movie, very, very independent, from Silvio De Salvatore and his entire family, and it's about this superhero by the name of Black Cougar, who, with his little army of gadgets and action figures,
I guess that's what they were, like robotic action.
Saves the world from a evil, nasty group of kidnappers who just take children and nobody really knows what happens to them.
Literally kidnappers.
I presume this was made for children because it's dumb as a bag of bricks. It's just so dumb and so poorly made and just so stupid.
Uh-huh.
The acting is quite wooden.
Oh, yeah. It's bad, especially by the lead guy, whom I believe is the son of Silvio. It's Silvio's son, even though he calls him Little Silvio. There's some weird confusion going on where the main character is actually the name of the director.
Yeah.
So I think the sons are named Lenny and Little Silvio. I guess Silvio Jr.
It's
Yeah.
confusing.
I know.
It's very strange, but it's very sort of amateurish. I guess he wanted to make a superhero that little kids could look up to, and I'm talking little kids, because teenagers today wouldn't put up with a film like this for 5 seconds.
Well, I don't think that was. I bet that dude was actually wanting a teenage or / whatever kind of movie, but he just failed miserably because it definitely. I think even little kids might be a bit too confused by this movie.
I'm just turned off by the idea that these sort of adults are trying to get down into their level, and it's clearly not working.
Uh-huh.
And it's at a time when, it's early 2000s, so everybody's wearing the same awful puffy fucking shirt or coats from back then.
Uh-huh.
Remember those awful puffy
Jackets?
coats?
Yeah.
They're all wearing that. Some of the villains, quote unquote, are breakdancing. Like, they stop fighting to start breakdancing. Really? Who breakdances? That's just so embarrassing.
That was weird.
It was bad. Oh my goodness.
And then there's Arab characters.
Yeah, there's a bunch of fake Arabs there, and they have like plastic swords, and I remember that there was a thing on YouTube because I had to go and figure out who the hell made this and where it came from. And there's an interview with Silvio De Salvatore where he's talking about how he had this money that he wanted to make this movie, and either he was going to spend it on actors or he was going to spend it on gadgets and the background. So he decided to go with gadgets in the background and to hire all his friends and family and whoever else he could con into, coming in and do this movie, and it definitely shows.
Are we sure this wasn't like money laundering for a improvement?
It could very well have been.
It could have been like a movie made for the mob to launder money. I don't know. But to begin with, basically the plot of the story was like, you kind of did it in a nutshell, but like a little bit more is like in the beginning you see this kid, he's hanging out with all these other littler kids. He's kind of the one everybody looks up to, I guess. And the moms are kind of like a little weirded out by him. Like, why is this like kid kind of hanging out with like our little kids, this bigger kid? So they come and talk to him and start asking him some questions. And he doesn't know the answer because he's apparently a robot. I don't know.
Of course.
Yeah, so he doesn't know the answer, so he starts talking to his father, who like owns a toy shop.
A toy maker,
who tells them basically you're 6 months old or something like that, Which makes me wonder, like, how long has the guy been, like, hanging out with these kids?
And, the toy maker, conveniently also happened to be a surgeon and a computer IT person. So, of course, he has all these wonderful skills, and that's how he's able to create this Pinocchio, the super Pinocchio.
That's the thing that annoys me most about independent films some days, is they have to explain all these things. They have to get a character to have like a million different jobs.
Exposition man.
Well, right, but also have a million different jobs that they normally wouldn't have, just so that they don't have to like hire another person to be that character. Or, and explain why they know about this stuff. You know what I mean? So they go, oh, well, this just one guy will be a IT guy. He'll be a toy maker. He'll be a, all these different characters. And when in reality, like, just doing a toy making company or whatever he does, would be just, like, that's enough, know?
Right. And, the whole thing is that, they are fighting these villains that are so obvious and stupid. It's just ridiculous. It turns out it's the mayor who's got nothing else better to do than to have these black limousines driving around the neighborhood where guys are just coming out of the car and just grabbing kids in broad daylight, throwing them in the car and driving off. That's their secret plan.
And the parents don't see.
Nobody sees anything. So they throw them all in cages because that's what evil people do. And then they sell them off to Arabs and to different people, and God knows what they're supposed to be done for. And then every now and again you see the bunch of kids and they're like, "We're sad. We want our mommies and daddies. We want to go home." Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, no,
they don't look any older than 6, so I guess they can be forgiven for bad acting.
No, I guess not.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't fault any of the actors for any of this. I fault the director. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's definitely amateur hour when it comes to the acting. I mean, I guess the lead actor is the toy maker, because he never fracking shuts up for the entire film. He's kind of like the guy who has to tell the puppet what to do. So he's like, do this, and now do that, and now do this, and now do this, and oh, watch out over here, and then do this. And he just never shuts up, ever.
I think at one point you wanted the black cougar to tell his dad to shut up.
Please.
But of course he doesn't. He listens to his dad the whole time. And, I mean, I swear to God, it had the longest third act I've ever seen in a movie.
It went forever.
Because, like, the point was that they found where the lair was that all these kids were. I don't even know how they found it out, but
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
It mayor's properties, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
I suspected the mayor to begin with, but
because it's a sleaze bag.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
But what you don't know is that the mayor also has robots, because everybody can make a robot apparently. So he's got a bunch of robots on his team. Some of which are breakdancers, which is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so stupid. Now, I will point out that he did spend some money on some of the little action figures and some of the stuff. That was kind of fun. I won't lie. When the action figure army starts to come out and their little helicopters and their little trikes and their little vehicles, that was cool as hell.
That was freaking
That was neat. Because you don't see that ever, because it's ridiculous. It's stupid. But at the same time, it was kind of fun. I like seeing that. That was neat.
So and then just the silliness in the whole thing.
Right.
The whole movie is just so flat out stupid. There's this one point where to start this whole thing off, one of the kids saw the kidnappers or whatever, right? So Silvio goes to go say hello and pay his respects to the girl and everything, even though she's alive, but wanted to go say hello to her or whatever. She's in a catatonic.
She goes into shock for days and days and days. All you did was see something. Come on.
Yeah, so
Ridiculous.
He goes to the hospital, and then she sees him and starts kind of freaking out, and he takes off running. So the mother goes, "He's the one who kidnapped my son." Like, what? You were just you were just being the nicest person in the world to this guy, and now you're just turning your back on him like that? Like, I mean, she was saying was she was freaking out when you know.
And of course, this is all locally shot in, I guess it was Yonkers, New York.
Was it?
With local people there. I know, we want to say...
I thought it was New Jersey.
I know, it's what I thought too. I was going to say this is like Jersey Shore, Spider-Man, but it wasn't. Yonkers, New York, and so everybody has this thick, Jersey New York accent. It was hysterical. We just laughed and laughed every time people talked.
Also
it was so bad.
That one mom with the weird dye job.
Yeah, somebody had some weird hair there, and there was a lot of odd local color stuff that was happening.
So when I heard the name Black Cougar, I got excited. I thought it was a black woman,
like an older one.
like an older black woman who was fighting crime. I thought this was going to be the black version of Double D Avenger.
That would have been awesome.
Like that, I would have been okay with. This was shit. This was like Black Panther if it was made by like kind of people who didn't know how to make a movie,
Ding,
like,
ding, ding.
And like that's kind of the best way to describe it. Which I mean, I'm not saying Silvio can't ever make another movie or whatever. Like, make another movie. Please let it be better than Black
hire
Cougar,
some
please.
more professional people.
Yeah, hire people that aren't your son and friends.
The last third of the film that you talked about that went on forever. What's going on is the evil villain, the mayor, is having a birthday party. And it goes on for this entire period, and all of his people that he's selling the children to come to the birthday party, and they're all drinking like stuff from these plastic skull glasses that you get from the dollar store, and eating cake and listening to music. It's like,
and
what
break
the
dancing.
hell?
I think that's when they break dance and stuff. Like it was ridiculous, man. Like I was just like, this movie has gotten.
Oh my god.
This is definitely a What the Fuck Friday.
I laughed my ass off. It's like, what reality do you think? Even for a kid's movie, what are you trying to say here?
I mean, if this movie's on like Amazon Prime, watch it. 'Cause
Sure.
you're gonna, don't. And if it's $1, okay, fine. If you want to own it for $1,
Don't not watch it. You do need to watch this.
You do
It's
need to watch this
hysterical.
movie. We're not saying that like, oh man, this movie is just beyond awful or something. This movie is so ridiculously stupid.
Right.
It will be interesting enough
And
to
the
watch.
thing is that I remember I looked online and there were people who were saying, oh, it's bad, but it's a kids movie, so it's okay. No. You can still make a good movie for kids. I mean, we did Roller Gator. That was made for kids. We gave that a whole bunch of shit
Freaking
too.
Fungicide should have been made
ridiculous.
for kids.
I
Like
love
that felt
Fungicide.
like that felt like a kids movie in a way.
Right.
Like a lot of these movies, like what it felt like was they wanted to do like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles type movie for kids to be able to watch or whatever, and then they just failed. I mean,
know.
it didn't work.
And the fun thing is apparently De Salvatore bought a whole bunch of action figures and painted them black and used them in the movie and was selling them. I think you could have bought them for a while.
Yeah.
It was funny. So, I mean, even though this is really poorly made, we want you to see it because it's just nuts. It's just so crazy bad.
Yeah, it's terrible, but I think I'll have fond memories of it down the road.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think you were saying that it reminded you of some kids shows or something.
Yeah, when I was a little kid.
Right.
Spy
Power
Kids.
Rangers or Spy Kids?
There you
is
go.
what she said.
The ones
so.
with the thumb monsters.
Yeah. So the ones that were written by freaking Robert Rodriguez as kids. So that's what this feels like, a movie that was written by a child.
Also Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah.
And so he got, I guess, his son to be the Black Panther, Black Cougar before he's
Cougar.
in the getup, and he's very wooden. He just he can't really
Well, I
deliver
mean,
his
which
lines.
works
fitting for a
perfectly for a
wooden puppet.
robot.
I guess so. It
he's a
just didn't
robot?
seem convincing.
Yeah, he's a robot.
Oh, I thought he was a puppet. Okay.
No, he's
I call
a
him
robot.
a puppet.
He calls him a puppet. He was a robot. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he had metal under him or anything, but like he was definitely a robot. And
Well, yeah, because the toy maker decided that's what he was, so we have to listen to everything. And of course, he doesn't just build that; he builds the car, and he builds all the gadgets. He builds everything. So, once and it's funny because the puppet only becomes the superhero if he goes into this canister cylinder.
They call it the
That's
cylinder.
right, the cylinder. And I guess that's how he becomes the superhero. We don't see that, which is probably good. And they probably couldn't afford to show it. But, he comes out and he's in all this black leather and black spandex, and he's able to sort of do these funny little moves. And
Yeah, I think they might have gotten like a body double.
most likely.
So,
Most likely.
all in all, we say watch the movie.
Oh, definitely. If you can get your hands on it. I don't know if it's on Prime or not. But
yeah.
if you go scouring around, thrift stores, you might find a copy or two, especially if you can get the action figure. That would be fabulous.
Oh, definitely.
But he has not made any movie before or since that I've seen. But apparently he has a YouTube channel that has a whole bunch of stuff there that are all pretty interesting and pretty wacky. So go check him out, give him some views, because I'm sure he could use it.
Yeah, definitely. We'll put a link on the bottom.
He was on. I know he was on. Him and his family were on some kind of reality show in 2010.
No, it doesn't surprise me.
So yeah, I mean, clearly this guy is somebody who's been yearning for the big time and yearning to make movies, and just like all of us,
Well, speaking of which, we'll end by saying thank you guys, because this was an excellent movie for you guys to watch. As far as What the Fuck Friday. We have 2 more episodes of the season, and then we're done until next year. But that's great because we got October, November, and then December we'll take a break. We'll have November, December, so we'll be back in January anyway. But it works. So what we want to also mention right now is that I think it should be our campaign is still going on. We've got a campaign for My Girlfriend the Serial Killer, movie that we're doing that hopefully won't be noticed as a What the Fuck Friday for somebody else to do. We're hoping to make something really, really good. But the only way we can make something really, really good is with the help and love and support of other people who want to see good movies.
Absolutely. And Silvio Di Salvatore, you're more than welcome to check out our movie and to say whatever you want, since we did the same to you and yours.
Yeah, if you don't like ours, for whatever reason, that's fine.
Fair is fair.
Fair is fair. I'm sure we'll get some reviews.
But I'm also equally sure that we are going to make a better film.
Don't put that out there, man. Because
sorry,
all of a sudden now
Black Cougar's a pretty low bar to go above.
I know, but now we might just mess up just because it's out there, or whatever. But anyway.
Well, I mean, we're never going to hit that bar anyway, because one thing I forgot to mention is because this was a kid's film, there's really, the violence is extremely minimal. There's no gore. There's no nudity. There's nothing like that.
There's no nudity in ours, but there won't be any nudity in ours. But there will be
violence.
Sex and violence and blood. And this will be an R-rated movie, not a PG or PG-13.
Not for kids.
Not for kids. So, thank you.
No
Did you enjoy watching this movie?
Yeah, I'd say so. It was delightfully.
You laughed a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I laughed a few times, intentionally and not intentionally as well.
Yeah, there were more than a few. Oh my God, what the hell is that?
Especially when the Black Cougar was running,
and when the little gadgets came out, the little action figures and their gadgets, that was awesome. They hold a chain at one point and trip somebody, and they're bonking people on the heads. It was hysterical.
I really liked that.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
So anyway, so check us out on sickflickproductions.com. Also check us out on YouTube. You subscribe, hit the thing for Indie Film Cafe, because Indie Film Cafe presents this show, and we are Indie Film Cafe. So we love you guys. We appreciate all the support.
Absolutely.
And check out. Go watch Black Cougar somewhere.
Find it. Definitely.
Buy it.
It's
you
worth
can
the
buy
money.
it for a couple cents on Amazon. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think if it's on there, it's for free. But definitely check it out. It's definitely worth your time.
Yeah, definitely. Lady didn't get to see it.
Maybe not for the reasons that Silvio Di Salvatore thought, but from our point of view, it was definitely a What the Fuck Friday and worth checking out.
Yep, definitely. So thank you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.